Hey, what's up? This is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints, and in this episode I talked to Tyler Frazer from Tyler's Barbecue in Amarillo, Texas. They are on the top 50 barbecue joints for Texas Monthly Magazine, which is a very big deal. We talk about his past jobs, how he transitioned from that to cooking on an enormous level. You'll be really interested to hear on how much he cooked during those times, how he got his brick and mortar, how he how shoestring it was at the beginning, how he had to borrow money and get friends and family to work for him, and he's just forthcoming about every single thing, and he's just so great to talk to. He's really funny, tells great stories, always got a smile on his face. I know you're gonna enjoy it, and if you do like what you see, please subscribe. I'll be adding at least one barbecue interview every week. Thanks so much. Have a great day. It shows that it's a real live Texas barbecue joint.
It is, and see, I even sat out here in the lobby so it didn't look messy like my desk. It's wonderful, my videographer skills.
I think you've done a great job. Nice, and it's nice because then people get a chance to kind of feel like they're there.
Right, and that was kind of what I was thinking. I actually I had fast signs here. Take a picture of the back of the barbecue behind me, and that's what I use when I go to trade shows or like we won the Best of Amarillo about 2 weeks ago, and so they have an event. We set up a booth, and I try to set it up so it gives it the feel like you're really here.
Oh, well, congratulations on that. That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We're pretty excited. It's our 6th time to win. I've been open for 7 years, and it's our 5th time in a row, so that's pretty cool.
Whoa, that's very cool. That's awesome. Well, then why don't we just jump in? I might use a little bit of that we just had, just because it's nice. It feels real.
Well, and I'm pretty comfortable talking on interviews and stuff. It's not a big deal because I realize that I'm talking to you, not 14 million people, so that makes it a lot more personal.
That is true. Yeah. And someday it'll be 14 million people that I have an audience of.
Right. We hope so.
I hope so, and I hope you.
Well, and I think it's Jess's carnivore shirt you got on there. That's probably the thing that'll make it happen.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I should do that.
Really see it, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do something so that way. Yeah, I'm
supporting the Tyler's Barbecue, Texas. It's actually inspired by Miller's Barbecue because they were the first ones I saw that had one like this, but I liked it enough.
I love that sweatshirt. That's a really cool sweatshirt. Only you have t-shirts in the back. Do you sell your shirts online?
We don't, mainly because it's really hard to keep up with sizes. Every time I've tried to do it online, it's been like somebody wants a quadruple X, and it's like, okay, I don't have any of those.
Well, also too, it's when you're shipping a lot of shirts, it becomes like a t-shirt business, and then people will order extra large, but it doesn't fit them properly because every shirt, is kind of different. So.
And I think we could probably make hundreds of dollars a year at it.
Wow, you could retire off that money alone, right? Maybe 120. That would be fantastic. Well, good morning. I guess it's 10 o'clock your time, so it's still good morning for you.
10 o'clock our time. We're all awake and going. Everybody's been going all morning.
So what does your day usually look like? What does your Friday look like?
Fridays we have 3 really busy days of the week. Probably like when you look at other barbecue places, that seems like those are the 3 days of the ones that are open for 3 days. That's the 3 days that are open. But those are our busiest days for sure.
Would be what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursdays we do homemade mac and cheese. So we actually make I think it's called a Monier sauce. Where you start with food, you heat up cheese and milk and cream, and you actually make it old school. So it's usually gone by 1 o'clock.
And is that just on that day?
Just on Thursdays,
okay.
Yeah. We do 2 versions of the same thing. So we do a regular, a bacon, and a green chili grilled onion. And the green chili grilled onion we sell 3 times as many as the other ones, and it's awesome. And
that's the one I think I've read about. That's a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah, Texas Monthly's put it in their review twice. They've come on Thursdays just to have some. Oh. And I've been to other restaurants. I'm not going to say exactly where, but maybe Pearland. And
yeah, I wouldn't know which one's in Pearland.
They sit there, brought their mac and cheese out, and waited for me to take a bite and see what it tasted like. A lot of buzz off of it, which is really cool.
That is really cool. So what was your background?
I'm in no way a chef. I'm just a normal guy that got into tailgating with some friends, and then kind of happenstanced into working for a guy that owns an 18-wheeler barbecue grill, and put together a business plan, and here I am.
Really? So what were you doing prior to that? Was it like sales, or were you doing something completely different?
I got into the cooking thing. I was living in the Dallas area. My kids were living down there, and I had some buddies, and one of my buddies, they were all in the toy business. I was trying to be in the toy business. I was selling balls, dolls, plastic pumpkins. I got to travel a lot. It was fun. I got to go to New York and Hong Kong and Las Vegas and And that's where the joke about hundreds of dollars a year comes from. It was bad. Doing it for 3 years, he shook his head and he's like, you had your best year ever this year, correct? Oh, yep. And he's like, you made $5,600. Dollars a year is not going to cut it long.
No.
No, it's a lot of fun, but you're going to have to figure something else out. But anyway, through that connection in the toy business, one of my buddies down there in Dallas, Matt Ayers, actually is in the toy business and does T-shirts. He did these T-shirts.
Okay.
He actually has a tailgate spot at SMU, and he's had the same spot since not high school, since college.
Okay.
And so every weekend they go out, they tailgate, they have fun, and we were just drinking beer, watching all the pretty people walk around. And meanwhile, this other friend of his named Trace has an 18-wheeler barbecue grill. And he had a sponsor that wanted to get some TV coverage in the Dallas area.
Okay.
And he lives in Justin, which is just west of the Metroplex.
Okay.
Anyway, so we worked out a deal to use our tailgate spot for the weekend. We're like, perfect. We won't have to clean anything up. Took this giant grill. Everybody will be like, wow. Anyway, it was a Saturday morning game. 5 o'clock on Friday, Trace calls and says, I'm not going to be able to make it. My driver's mom's sick, so unless you have a CDL, we're not going to be able to come. And I was like, I have a CDL. He's like, oh, you do? Well, it's a 57-foot trailer. Do you know what that is? I'm like, oh, yeah. We drove those at Coca-Cola. So I was like, I'll be out at your house in a little while. I'll pick it up. And that's what we did.
Wow.
And as soon as I picked it up and drove him around the Texas Motor Speedway, he wanted to make sure I could stop and turn and not run stuff over like cars and stuff.
and people.
And it's huge. So I dropped him back off at his house. He says, I'll see you in a little while. Go ahead and take it down there. So then I drove Saturday morning about 8 o'clock, drove down to SMU, pulled into our spot, parked the truck. And about that time, the guys from WFAA, which are the ABC affiliate guys down there, they're like in my face with a camera asking me what it's like to drive the world's largest portable smoker and grill. Start talking to him like I'm talking to you. And then Trace walks up behind me and he's like, we may need to talk. I'm the truck, I'm cook, and then, he'd had to hire 3 people to do that same job. So It worked a dream job for me. I worked for him part-time for about 1.5 years, 2 years. Then he got a huge contract with Mrs. Baird's, and we did about 400 stops, almost 5 years. It was like 4 3/4 years, and we went west of the Mississippi and did all the mid to major markets. So like we went to Seattle and Portland and LA and Reno, Boise, Colorado Springs for the Olympic team. That was pretty.
What year was this? Or what 2 years?
I think I started out there 2007.
Okay.
I think maybe 2006. It all kind of runs together.
Yeah, I know it's hard. Like when people ask me like what year, because sometimes people know specifically.
I think I moved down to the Metroplex in 2004, and then I started working part time for Trace in between 2004 and 2005. And then I think 2006 when I went to work for him full time.
What were you cooking those days?
The first summer I cooked 60,000 pieces of chicken, 7,000 buffalo burgers, and we did hot dogs. We did so many hot dogs, I stopped counting at 450,000. We did a lot of Big 12 games, and so like when we do the Red River Shootout, it was just a week ago. We used to park right by the gate where they would let them into the Cotton Bowl, and Mrs. Baird's was a big sponsor of the whole state fair, so they got special priority to put their grill right there by the gate. And so we'd pass out 10,000 hot dogs in about an hour and a half. It'd take us 4 or 5 hours to cook them all.
Whoa.
And we also did like the Houston Rodeo every year, and we did festivals and fairs and just all kinds of stuff.
So when you were doing the stuff for Mrs. Baird's, was that like they commissioned you guys to do that, or was it something where you guys were actually selling too?
No. We tried to do the selling stuff a couple of times, and that was a major, so now people come to me and they're like, hey, you want to do the Tri-State Fair? I'm like, no. Well, I don't want to work. That's not what I want to do. I want to be inside in the air conditioner and work outside a little bit. But what we found out was we did an event that we were making our own money, and we did a deal in the South Fork Ranch, which is north of Dallas. It's where they filmed the show Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Christian concert with about 30,000 people there. And so we rolled in and we were going to do turkey legs. So we cooked, I think it was 3,600 turkey legs, and we sold almost 400 of them.
Oh, almost.
Almost. So out of the food that we had left over, we donated to the Salvation Army in Fort Worth, and they got to make everybody Thanksgiving dinner, and that's great. But the other end of that coin is we didn't make enough money to cover our food costs, and we were both like, well, that wasn't a good deal.
No, that doesn't sound right.
We were going to do it and split the money, so I owed Trace money and he owed money. And the other thing I learned is I don't like the way turkey smells when you clean it out of the smoker, so I don't cook turkey anymore.
Oh, you don't cook turkey at your restaurant, all do you?
No, because when you have to get in the inside of the smoker with a paint scraper and scrape it all out for a couple of days in the Dallas sun. You don't want to do that anymore.
No. So then what made you, what was the transition to a brick and mortar? Did you go directly to a brick and mortar place, or did you have it?
Yeah, actually, when I worked for Trace, I put together a business plan. So that was when I actually quit my other job, and I was working as a telesale rep for AT&T selling yellow pages. And I highly recommend that. It's an extremely hard job. But if I need to get a hold of somebody on the telephone, I absolutely can now. Because I've been in school how to do it. I can wear some, yeah. But at the other end of that, I also know how to deal with the salespeople and tell, hey, look, I'm not buying that, so I don't want to waste your time. I understand your job, because it's emotionally crippling at the end of the day.
Oh, it's a tough job. I know a lot of people have done that.
Hello.
And it's a lot of rejection, and you have to be able to handle that. And I think it creates a certain type of person that you can either take it or you can't do it.
Right, and I did it for a while, and I was doing okay at it. But driving an 18-wheeler barbecue grill, come on, there's no. It's like, you want to drive an 18-wheeler barbecue grill and go out and pretend like you're in the and have fun and learn how to juggle with the other clowns. It was a ball. It was a lot of fun. Right, and y'all's traffic is so fast.
It's scary.
Can you imagine driving an 18-wheeler barbecue grill in LA, 80 feet 4 inches front bumper to back bumper, cruising down the highway headed to Montebello, and I check that off the list of things to do before you
Exactly. I have a friend that became a truck driver. He wanted to, and I kept thinking, I have such respect for truck drivers because I can't imagine doing that. It's amazing. The blind spots are giant.
Oh yeah, you have to be really careful because it can be somebody's life if you if you turn too fast or do something. It's pretty scary, and you don't realize. Truck drivers do. Truck drivers see a lot of accidents. They realize how dangerous cars and trucks are, and it's
sure.
super.
Yeah,
you get real complacent to, get in the car, don't put my seatbelt on. It's like, don't run over stuff in the road. I mean, stuff happens, and you realize it when you do it every day.
And those cars, like a car weighs so much. Imagine a truck, like how much, I don't know how many tons that's.
Yeah, I think the grill rolling across the scales full of charcoal, wood, and water was 71,420 pounds.
Wow.
So it was pretty big.
That's massive.
Johnsonville has a truck that's a 48-foot truck, and they grill brats. Ours was actually, we could grill it had a charcoal grill on the back part. You could do wood fire, grill fire. You could do 1,000 hot dogs, 500 hamburgers, or 200 16-ounce steaks. And then on the smoker part of it, you could cook. I think the most we ever cooked, we did, it was 3,100 pounds or something. It was like 100.
That's a right amount.
It was a crazy amount. It was like 131 briskets. And we did a cook-off every year in Grapevine, and we would cook a lot of briskets like that because, that's $10,000 worth of meat pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot of money. So we didn't cook that much most of the time.
Wow.
That's why we did lots of hot dogs, because that fit in the budget.
Do you do hot dogs at all at your place?
No. There's the difference between like regular hot dogs and like the kosher all beef hot dogs. There's a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Huge. Like I can't eat the regular hot dogs anymore. They taste like cardboard.
Yeah, they have, and they kind of leave a weird aftertaste too.
Right. Yeah. And the more of them you cook, the more aftertaste you know.
It's like an aftertaste in your brain.
Yeah, I always joke about having events of like, if you're cooking more than 6,000 hot dogs in a day, I might be the guy to do that. But at the same time, I taught all my kids when they were little. They were like 8 and 10 and 12, and so all of them went with me on at least one event, and I made them cook. Each one of them cook at least 1,000 hot dogs at one time.
Wow!
Because I was like, this is one of those things that you're not ever going to have another opportunity in your life to cook 1,000 hot dogs. You go, I cooked 1,000 hot dogs.
Yeah, it's a great thing for parties to be able to say.
Yeah, it's a great party. Hey, what's this? I can cook 1,000 hot dogs.
That's great. Well, let's jump back into what. So you had the business plan. Were you always planning on doing it in Amarillo, or is it Amarillo or Amarillo?
Amarillo.
Okay.
So Amarillo. I grew up here.
Okay.
I moved away for a little bit. My kids lived in Dallas, so I moved down there for almost 10 years. I moved to Madison, Wisconsin for about 18 months, 2 summers, 1 winter.
Oh, wow.
When it started getting cloudy, I started packing. It's way too cold up there.
It does get cold.
But that geographically, other than that, I've lived here in Amarillo. And so I have lots of family and friends here. And after traveling around a little bit and seeing what is out there as far as barbecue options, I realized we really didn't have a true great barbecue place here.
That's true.
We had a couple of them that were okay and a couple of them that were not bad, but we really had a need for a traditional Texas barbecue.
That makes sense. So then, what year was that when you first actually purchase it?
I think 2006. That's when I actually started planning it.
Okay.
When I actually put the plan together, and it might have been the end of 2005.
But when was the first day you opened the doors?
When I opened the doors here was 2010. So May 15th, 2010 is when I opened up.
And then what was the reception?
It was great. You know, when I opened on a shoestring, and it's kind of cool. I'm a barbecue fan too, so my wife and I will travel around. We'll go to South Texas, and we'll see what other people do. And that's probably because I did that in the previous job when I was working for Trace. We would go to barbecue places and try things, look at the menu, see what works, see what doesn't work, see what's convoluted. You know, if somebody has 9,000 choices on the menu and catfish and fried everything, it's like you kind of lose your focus. So I have a real simple menu because of that. But one of the things, I think when we travel around and try different stuff, you know, I'm always looking, am I missing something? Is there something different? I think 2 years ago, probably the biggest thing I picked up from anybody, we went down to Pearland and ate at Killen's Barbecue, and I changed the kind of black pepper I used just completely because his pepper was so good. Was it more coarse, or was it just? It was just the way he was doing a heavy grind pepper and all the rubs and spices. And he sends a guy to the spice market. I'm not quite that big time, so I found a comparable product with Minnie Keith and Cisco, but it's the same type of pepper. It comes from the Malabar region in India. Oh, wow. And you know, Ronnie's he's a super great chef as far as chefs go. He's not just a barbecue guy. Exactly. He's a chef that loves barbecue, so everything he makes is good. And but now with opening a restaurant, was that scary at first? Absolutely, because I didn't have any restaurant experience. So, and there wasn't a really good backup plan. I put together this business plan, and then actually by the time I got a building rented and got everything done, I had to borrow like $5,000 from my dad at the end to buy the meat for the first 3 weeks. Oh, wow. And so it took me about 10 months to pay that back, and there was no backup plan. It's not like I couldn't say, hey, Dad, can you give me some money out of the trust fund? Or there's none. It's like, I'm sorry, I can loan you the money on my credit card, and that's all we got. Wow. And so that's what we did. And I ended up, there was kind of a sink or swim, but mainly just swim. There was no sink. So did you have? I know it sounds like it, and that sounds even more scary than I imagined. And at first, I'm sure it was more word of mouth. Is that how you were spreading? I have my next door neighbor actually was a techie guy, so he made me a website. He actually paid for the first round of GoDaddy, Tyler's Barbecue stuff. He gave me a website for free and did all my social media stuff. He goes, well, you're going to need Facebook, and he named off like 6 or 8 things. I was like, okay. He did all that stuff, and so then when I opened up, I was years ahead of all the other barbecue places here because nobody does any of that stuff. No one did back then, yeah. They didn't. They were like, we're busy. We don't have time for that, and so I was kind of ahead of them. And then, like, as far as people, my mom ran the register, and then my friends all came in and pitched in. I have a buddy named Casey that worked at Hastings. I don't know if you're familiar with Hastings. Yeah. I worked at Hastings for about 10 years, and I was a buyer, so I have good math skills. Okay. But I had Hastings friends that worked here, and they would come help me in the evening. I had a buddy that worked at the railroad at night. He would come help me at lunch, and my mom would run the register. So I was open for a good 90 days before I had any employees. Oh, wow. So it was a lot like Truth when you go to Leonard's Barbecue over. When we went in there, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of when I first opened up. His mom's running the register, and Dylan's his buddy back in the back running the pit. And that's funny. So cool because it's like I remember when I was worried about every day I would go to Sam's every other day and buy enough forks and spoons and paper towels, and that's what I had to work with, whatever I'd sold from the days before. Because you didn't have an account with Cisco, you were just doing it all. Yeah, I didn't have good enough credit to have an account. Yeah. I was lucky to get the building and get a smoker going. And it all just kind of fell into place. And as soon as we opened up, we've been open about 90 days. And we actually, the paper does the Best of Amarillo thing we just won. And those guys came to me, they go, hey, we won the Best of Amarillo. I'm like, well, what is that? I thought they were trying to sell me something. Yeah, you need to run an ad. I was like, I've been open for weeks. And I had other barbecue places that would call in and say, hey, how long have you been open? And it was one of the main barbecue places that was getting number 2 now. And I was like, oh, we opened it at 11. And I didn't realize they were trying to figure out what's been out. Yeah, like how long have you been open? It was a big deal. And it wasn't, because I was just in shock. So was it lunch and dinner back then? It was lunch and dinner. When I first opened up for the first couple of months, I did brisket and sausage. Just that. And then after about the first 3 to 5 weeks, I started to do brisket, sausage, chicken, ribs. Okay. And then The chicken's kind of been spotty off and on. I've done it sometimes, not done it. Now we're doing a pretty good job of it. We're selling lots of everything.
Okay.
So like we sell brisket and sausage ribs. I have 4 kinds of sausage, pulled pork. I do 2 types of chicken, a skinless, boneless breast, and a half a chicken.
Oh wow.
You know, we sell. I'd say that the most popular things we sell are the brisket and the ribs.
Oh, I'd imagine, yeah, definitely. When did you get on Daniel's radar?
I actually reached out to Daniel. I've been following his blog before I opened for a couple of years. You know, like I said, I'm a barbecue fan, so I texted him and had started the dialogue right when I opened up. I was like, hey, how do I get on? Just, you know, when you search Texas barbecue, how can I get listed on your list? He goes, oh, I'll put you on there. Okay, and I was like, okay, well, how can you come visit? And he didn't travel as much as he does now because he was an architect. But anyway, he like the first summer I was open, like in August, all of a sudden I noticed he's got blogs for 2 of the other barbecue places in town. I'm like, what's the deal, man? I'm walking back and forth with you, and you come on a Monday. And he came on a Monday. We're closed.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, your food looks great on the internet, but I didn't realize that he wasn't doing it full time. He had a job, and he was on vacation and happened to travel through on a Monday.
How far away are you guys from Dallas?
It's 350-ish miles. I think from my old apartment to my mom's house is right at 351 miles. It's pretty close.
So it's not too bad. That's not too bad a trip.
No, it's not too bad, and it's a pretty easy drive. We go down there quite a bit. Like Trace, the guy that owns the 18-wheeler barbecue grill, we're really good friends at this point, and we go down there and stay with him a couple times a year.
So do you get more? Do you get people coming from up north, like from out of state?
I get people from all over the world. We are right off of I-40, and I-40 is also part of the original Route 66.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that's kind of odd, it comes out there, right out there to LA and stops with you guys, but it starts in Chicago. So one of the things I never realized about Amarillo, we get a crazy amount of Europeans taking holiday during the summer, and they come through doing Route 66, seeing the Route 66 stuff. And the first month I was open, I had people from Belgium, Spain, Germany, Holland.
That's so interesting.
And I'm like, where are these people coming from? And it's funny because some of the Europeans, like the people from France, they expect table service. They do not understand the gap. And they're super patient. It took me a long time to figure out why these people came in and just sat down.
Wow, that's so...
10, 15 minutes, I finally went over and said, can I help you? And they're like, we would like to order. And I'm like, okay. And I brought them a menu and I gave them table service. Everybody in the back was looking at me like, what are you doing? So now I can spot it pretty quick. If people come in and just sit down and wait patiently, I'm like, they must be from France.
So if you're European, you get table service at Tyler's.
If you're patient. I'm not good at it either.
Yeah, you're not gonna get. Yeah, it's not gonna be the same as a French restaurant.
Like I have a rib special that's 3 ribs, a side, and a drink, and it's probably one of the most popular items we have because it's a good meal portion. Yeah. But what we always joke about, if somebody from France comes over, they'll look at the menu and they don't order the rib special, they order the rib special. And so I just think about that all the time. But one night we had a family from the Bordeaux region that came in, and I was talking about the wine country and what part of France and then being in the country, and just talking to him. He's just really nice, a dad about my age, a little bit younger than me with kids. And then he steps up to the counter and he says, Tyler, I would like the rib special. And everybody kind of started laughing. I thought we were making fun of him.
Well, it sounds like Pulp Fiction, too.
In France that say the rib special, I think it's very cool.
Oh, that is really cool. And I wonder, too, because how much they're probably not eating a lot of ribs like Texas-style ribs.
No, and it's funny. I have people, like schools get people from all over the world. And, with the new Texas Monthly Passport list, we get people that are actively going out to other places and eating them, and they can give you their perception of the places. A lot of them I've eaten at, but some of them you have to read from Kevin or Daniel Vaughn. You have to go, okay, well, what do they have over at Louis Mueller? What's so good about that? Or, what do they have over in Brenham or down in Houston? Or, and so we can get just the average person's take on stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool. How was that when Texas Monthly came out? How was that for you? Were you excited to? I know you were excited to be on the list.
So it's a huge deal to be on their list.
Yeah.
So I was really excited, and the passport deal that Yeti's got going,
yeah,
that has been a big driver of people. Last time this is our second time on the list, but last time we got on the list, it seemed like we had a few people that came in. I had one guy that I remember specifically because he came in. He goes, "I've been to every one." I was like, "Oh, cool. So what are we like? Are we the last one?" He goes, yeah, you're number 143. And I was like, 143? So, yeah, I've been to every one. ever that's ever been on their list.
Oh, wow, that's a
He came in
feat.
specifically only for barbecue. It was a guy that lives in Dallas. I don't remember what his name was, but I was like, wow, he drove up here just for barbecue. Now this time with Yeti giving prizes, we have 5 or 6 people a week that'll come up, and they've got a little book that you get stamps in or stickers. And so the fallacy in that is people started sending self-addressed stamped envelopes. Hey, mail me a sticker. I'm like,
That's not how you do it.
Sorry, I'm not the guy for that. I know marketing people at Yeti. They didn't tell us they were doing that promotion, but I hate people that cut in line, and I hate cheaters. So I sent them all Tyler stickers, little that have they're like our sauce logos and a copy of the rules. And said, here you go. I'm really sorry I can't give you their sticker.
And they should make the trick. That's what it's all about. It's just like a scavenger hunt almost, or.
Absolutely, and it's about the experience. Like I took my passport and we've been all over the place and went to Kreitz and Hayes County and some of the other places, and I'm a barbecue fan. I'm taking pictures with it and posting them, and we went to Valentino's and Mueller's, and I love it. I'm not going to collect any prizes. I could care less about having more Yeti stuff.
And that's what's the fun, and that's what the barbecue is all about, is the experience.
Absolutely.
And at least in my mind it is, and I'm sure it is with you. And
it's nice to get to know those people too. Okay.
I saw that. You're being attacked.
Yeah, they love me. Flies, girls, and dogs, man, they all like me.
Yeah, if there's like a fly or a bug in the area, it'll fly in my eye. No one else's, but my eye, I think.
And they'll seek me out like a torpedo, kamikaze torpedo.
It's a good thing to have. It's a great gift, I think we both have.
Absolutely. No, that way you're really sweet. The flies
oh, I guess so. So what? So
or
then,
you're full of it. It could go either way.
Yeah. That's true. So what are your hours and what days of the week are you open, so people know for sure?
So we're open 11 to 7:30 unless we sell out, Tuesday through Friday. On Saturday we close at 6. Okay. Now I would say in the last 60 days we've made it to 7:30 5 times. 7:15 is kind of the magic number. We usually sell out about 7:15. Sometimes we'll run out of one item or another. Like on the weird days we'll run out of ribs at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Okay. But usually I'm a pretty good guesser. So 7 o'clock usually we have brisket, a few ribs. 6 o'clock we've got a strong inventory on everything.
And so what are people? How long are people waiting?
Close at 2. I'm like, why are you guys that cook more? But I know that also I have a set of crew where I've got an evening crew and a morning crew, and that's part of why they don't do that, because it's a big gap. I opened up planning to stay open all day.
And that's great to have, because a lot of people don't have that option to go later in the day.
Right. A lot of people don't have it, and there's a lot of people that can't go eat there because of that. Because
exactly.
They're not after work. People that work in, say, if you're in Amarillo and you have a meat packing plant, or you work at the power company and you're out, there's a lot of places that they can't come eat.
And also, too, it makes it so if people are making the drive from Dallas, they don't have to get there at 9 in the morning or something to
2 o'clock in the morning, so they can get here by lunchtime.
Exactly.
And so, the other thing that I'll do that a lot of other places don't do, I've traveled a lot. So I've lived out of a suitcase. I think the first summer we were gone 105 days from the house. So I was paying rent on an apartment. I never opened the door for 3 months. And that's weird.
That's frustrating.
What I gained from that is I'll take a call-in order. Like if Kevin's coming through and he's going to be here at 5:15 and you want ribs and sliced brisket and whatever, that's fine with me. Call it in at noon, whatever. Call it in, it's fine.
That's great to know.
A lot of places don't do that because they're like, oh, we're going to sell out and it's not fair for you to call ahead with these people waiting here. But, I'm kind of the opposite. If you're calling 4 hours ahead of when you're going to be here, you're already thinking about it. You're already sold. Yeah. These other people haven't even decided they're going to come eat yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're hoping for the mythical person that might not exist.
Right. He may or may not come in, and then at the same time, you're already thinking about barbecue. You're trying to actively get here. So that absolutely makes sense to do that.
So that's great to know, and that's a great tip for people if they're running late or they want to make sure that they do get some. Give you a call, and you'll know too. You'll gauge it if you've gotten a huge order that's going to cause problems. You could save certain things for them.
Absolutely. Because our volume changes day to day. Like some days we'll have caterings or this or that, and I think the amount of food that I can cook is not what I do cook. Like the third year I was open, we have a DOE project here where they disassemble all the secret stuff from the Army in the old Soviet era.
Oh, wow.
And so they've got a big amount of people that work out there, and I actually did lunch for them. And I think the original lunch was like lunch for 2,600, and then it ended up being 3,600 by the time I got everybody to bed. But that's a lot of food.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of food to cook fresh and get hot. I don't serve that many people every day, mainly because I don't want to work that hard. You know, and there's not that many people looking for barbecue every day in Amarillo.
So are you there the full day?
You could probably get away with that.
Are you there the whole day?
Usually, I actually we switch off. So some mornings I've got somebody that's coming in at 6 for me now. They've been doing that for about a month. But other than that, yeah, I've been here stoking the fire. You know, it was kind of fun. We had Wyatt McSpadden came in before the Texas Monthly thing came out, and he's from Amarillo, so he knows lots of people here. He went to the same high school I did, and he comes in the night before. He goes, "Hey Tyler, I don't know if you remember me, I'm Wyatt McSpadden." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know exactly who you are." It's like Daniel Bond coming in, like,
exactly.
I know who you are.
It's like the Ansel Adams of barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Ansel Adams of barbecue photography. He's like, "You mind if I come by in the morning and take a few shots?" I'm like, "No, come on by. I'm here at 6. Come on in." He shows up at 6 in the parking lot with me, and he stays for like 4 hours.
Whoa.
Pictures. He knows more about me than my doctor.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He took pictures of the pit here and there. Some of the pictures he took and he's posted on Facebook are not the ones they had in Texas Monthly, but he took a lot of pictures, and they're all great.
And it's amazing too. And he knows lighting so well, and so he knows.
Oh yeah, he knows. And you know, that's what I started. I like cameras. I took photography in college, so I can take film pictures. The problem is, like, the first Texas Monthly thing we went to, I bought a really fancy camera from my camera buddy, Shay, and he bought a new camera. And I got there and I took a few pictures, and I gave the camera to somebody else. They ran around and took pictures. And then I got back and I looked at all the pictures, and I was like, oh, I should have brought Shay. So that's what I've been doing. Instead of buying the camera, because I can take pictures. I can't take pictures of me. So, like, my Skype thing with that beef rib when I'm eating it, Shay took that picture.
Oh, that's really cool.
All the pictures he does all turn out because he's good at seeing where the light's going to work and where it's not going to work.
Yeah, and that's important, and you know that's a talent that takes years and years to hone, I think, too.
The food photography is completely different from people photography. The lighting's different, so.
Oh yeah, and lighting's huge, and people the cameras are at the point where they're getting so good that they take really wonderful quality photos, but still it's not the same.
Well, you can take a great picture with an iPhone now, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to
that. No, it's just like what I was talking about, where you call your parent to come pick you up on the phone. My kids are lost. They also aren't going to know how to work a camera. They're going to look at all the buttons and go, we don't know how it works.
Yeah, for sure.
It's automatic now.
Yeah, it is great, and it's crazy too how when they do like the big conferences for the new all right, we got it. It's almost for the new release of iPhone. They promote the camera before they promote anything else. That's the biggest selling. Yeah. So what else should people know about Tyler's?
Well,
is there anything we
I'm
missed?
a normal guy that's really lucky that I get to do something I love every day. You know, not everybody's blessed that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get up and I come to work and I work all day, and I've gotten check marks on my report card since kindergarten. So even when I worked at Hastings, my boss called me in and sat me down and he wrote me up because I had the coolest job in the whole company. I bought candy, games, and toys. So it was fun. Everybody at 3 o'clock would come over to my desk for a snack. The CEO saw everybody standing over there. He's like, we need to write Tyler up for disrupting workflow. So he put me up, and in the write-up, he's like, and this is my buddy Casey that came and volunteered for me for 5 years, helping me clean up everything. Anyway, he's like, I'm going to have to write you up for this, and, what do you have to say? And I was like, well, Casey, I've been getting check marks on my report card since kindergarten. But I don't think it's something I can check. It's a job that I can talk all day long, and people love it.
Well, you're such a positive force in barbecue, and I'm really happy for all the success you've had, and I can't wait to visit you. Gosh, I can't wait.
Yeah, you're going to have to drive. I think it's only 1,003 miles from here to LA. That's what the sign outside town says.
That's not too bad. I could do that.
Right down the street.
I could do that in 2 days, 2.5 days, right?
Yeah. Just don't stop in Albuquerque. Stop before or after. Think about every time you've ever watched Cops. You're in Albuquerque.
I'll stop on the way back.
Albuquerque probably won't like me saying that about Albuquerque, but
no, but it's the places are known for certain things.
Right.
Excellent. Well, thank you thank you so much for your time. I totally appreciate it, and have a great weekend. I hope you sell a lot of food.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Excellent. I'm sure they will. You've had a smile on your face the entire time, so how could they not enjoy it?
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of the way I live.
I try to too.
I'm going to have a good day or a bad day. Might as well not have a bad day because it's no fun.
Yeah, you have that choice every time you wake up.
Right.
Excellent.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
All right, thanks so much, and I'll shoot you an email when it's done.
Okay, thanks
All
a
right,
lot,
cool.
Kevin.
All right, take
Bye-bye.
care.